The Defence Ministry's vision for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. The defence sector is very unique in that the government is both the largest manufacturer and the only buyer of defence equipment. This is now beginning to change, with the government opening the sector up to private industries as a second growth engine. Driving this change is the Defence Ministry, and I spoke with Sri Rajkumar, Secretary, Department of Defence Production in the Defence Ministry. Joining him on this panel discussion are Mr. M.V. Gautama, Chairman and Managing Director, Bharat Electronics Limited, and Mr. Satyanarayan Nuval, Chairman, Solar Industries. What's the Defence Ministry's vision for an Atmanirbhar Bharat? What would a level playing field for the public sector and the private sector look like? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to another installment of the India Today Defence Conclave, where we discuss issues concerning one of the world's largest militaries as it embarks on its twin goals of modernization and indigenization. I want to first go over to Mr. Raj Kumar, the Secretary Defence Production, to give us the Defence Ministry's vision of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. How is the Defence Ministry going to achieve the targets that it's set for itself?
As you all know that this year is full of challenges to all of us and particularly to our country. COVID-19 has clearly taught us the importance of self-reliance or Atmanirbharta in the matter of public health. This is a global challenge and we all are facing it together. Government as well as the public and all organizations, we are both sufferers, but we are also the warriors. All of us are fighting it, and I can tell you, BEL has done fantastic job in providing 30,000 ventilators in a record time of just 3 months, and at a very, very competitive rate when the entire country was under lockdown. So this is the spirit with which our organizations in the country and the government put together are fighting the crisis of COVID-19. Now, in this context, I see that defense is not very different. Defense has also to go with the theme of self-reliance or Atmanirbharta. We cannot rely upon others to fulfill our defense needs. That is what the lesson, was there within us. We were not saying it so publicly, but now COVID-19 has given us the strength to say so that defense is our own problem and we have to sort it out ourselves. We need to be self-reliant in all respects. Fact remains that over the last decades, DRDO has developed more than 1,000 plus defense technologies. So we are proud of DRDO. We are proud of our Indian industry, which has partnered with DRDO in taking these technologies forward into production and meeting the needs of our defense services. Today, we are self-reliant in areas like missiles, sonars, light combat aircraft, fourth-generation military aircraft, frigates, corvettes, artillery guns, small arms, carbines, and to a large extent, the entire range of ammunition. We have a strong base of defense industries. I can say that DPSUs, as they are doing fantastic jobs, so is the private sector, which has come up of age in our country, and they are equally contributing to this task of self-reliance or Atmanirbharta. So as of now, in the opinion of Ministry of Defense, we have got sufficiently strong base of indigenous technology, domestic manufacturing capability to meet our own defense needs. I can take you a bit backward and say that in 2016, the defense procurement procedure itself, we said that by Indian IDDM, which is called Indigenous Design and Defense, Manufacturing, Development and Manufacturing Capability, that will be our default option. That means whenever we try to buy something for our armed forces, the first charge would be given to Indian defense industry if they are having indigenous design development capability. That is what will be our first and most important goal. Then also we said we wanted to involve other than DRDO, the Indian industry in the development of technology. So that is where we brought in the concept of make one, make two, and that is how we wanted to promote indigenous R&D capability, design capability with the visibility of long-term orders. So that is how in 2016 we started this process of developing and relying on our own indigenous design capabilities and manufacturing capabilities. So now what is so different in 2020? We were just to need to have a kind of declaration of confidence and faith in our own capabilities. That is how I look at it. The Make in India or to the next level, which we call as Atmanirbhar or self-reliant. I'll tell you about the approach, that we, took in respect of Atmanirbharta and defense in different sectors. For example, defense manufacturing. You yourself just mentioned, that we have put embargo on import of defense weapons, equipment, platforms from specified dates. To encourage and build domestic defense capabilities, first list of such 101 items has already been published in the month of August. And our Chief of Defense Staff is in the process of, preparing another such list of embargo on import of defense equipment and platforms. Similarly, expression of our confidence was that now we are willing to open up our FDI in defense up to 74% and through automatic route. Because we understand, some of the defense technologies are such, where the OEMs are not willing to share it with us. So we said, okay, you come and set up your manufacturing capability base in India, continue to own technology, retain it with you, but meet our needs by setting up your manufacturing unit in the country. And you cater to our needs, and also if you so wish, you can use that manufacturing facility for export market. Another important decision was that to have a separate budget head for domestic capital procurement. The idea was, that there was always a kind of between the priority for spending money on imported item and spending money on the domestic capital procurement. So to do away with that kind of ambiguity, we said that there be a dedicated. More importantly, what we did in the beginning of last month, 1st October 2020, we changed the entire paradigm of defense acquisition procedure. Earlier, it was known as defense procurement procedure. Now it is called defense acquisition procedure. And we brought in certain, subtle and fundamental changes. For instance, Buy Indian category, which is called indigenous design, development, and manufacturing, as a default category of procurement. It was here earlier also, but we increased the level of indigenous content from 40% to 50%. In addition to Make One, Make Two, and strategic partnership model, and Buy Indian IDDM categories, now these things have been reserved, as you can see, exclusively for Indian owned and controlled entities, where we are expecting them to aid to the domestic manufacturing capability. To facilitate setting up of manufacturing units in niche high-tech areas where probably we lack technology, we have added one more category, which is called Buy Global Manufacture in India. That means the global entity will have to set up their manufacturing unit to meet part or let's say substantive demand domestically. We have also included the reforms in general staff qualitative requirements, the parameters, based on which the acquisition process proceeds. Offsets, that's another area, where we expect the OEMs to promote the industrial capabilities domestically. So we have now focused on attracting investments and acquisition of niche technology as part of the offset reform. We have set up a portal which is called Srijan Defense Portal, which lists more than 5,000 items worth more than 12,000 crore rupees of imports in the last 3 years. We have opened it up to our domestic defense industry and thrown a kind of challenge to them that these are the items which we are importing over the years. Come forward, You can have either technology transfer with the OEM or develop your own capabilities and provide us indigenous solutions. What we see that this Defense Acquisition Procedure 2020 will further our goal of indigenization and Atmanirbharta into defense. Now let me come to the defense R&D per se. So in R&D, as I said, DRDO over the years has already developed more than 1,000 plus technologies and made us self-reliant. DRDO has also, done kind of, liberalization. They are providing free access of indigenous defense research technologies for eligible Indian companies free of cost. The only rider is that if you manufacture the product based on DRDO technology, if it is for armed forces, they don't charge any royalty. Only if you use it for exports, you use it for non-defense uses, then you have to pay a pittance, just 2% of royalty. Then during the process of R&D, we have now started involving the Indian defense industry. This is called development cum partnership production partner model. So while they take up the challenge for developing the technology, they also invite Indian industry to come and partner with DRDO. And once the technology is developed, it is given free of cost to the partner. And any other industry, if they are willing to take the technology, they are just charged 5% of the technology cost. So this is what liberalization DRDO has done in their setup, and we are encouraging growth of indigenous defense industry. How do we develop a culture of innovation, defense innovation in general in the country? So we launched a program called Innovation for Defense Excellence in 2018 with the objective of building up ecosystem of defense R&D innovation by bringing together private industries, startups, academia, incubators. And we set up an organization called Defense Innovation Organization, and Mr. Gautama is proud owner of that organization along with HAL. So this organization throws up challenges under the ITEX scheme, and those challenges are given to us by our armed forces. And today, I can say that out of 18 challenges which we had thrown in last 2 years, 44 startups are working with us. We are providing them 1.5 crore rupees of grant for developing those innovative products, prototypes. And subject to success of those prototypes, we are also giving them opportunity to manufacture those items and meet the needs of our defense forces. We took this idea forward, and in the month of September, Honorable Raksha Mantri launched one more, addition to this IDEX challenge processes. We are now we have launched another scheme which is called IDEX for Fauji. We have got 13 lakh service personnel, with Army, Navy, and Air Force. So, and they are the one who are working on the ground. They are facing day-to-day. So we are involving them in letting us know the kind of challenges that they face. And if possible, they can also face such solutions. And those challenges will be then thrown to the startups community and will get converted into products which will have definitely, meet the need of my forces. And I'm sure that innovation will help me in capturing export market as well. So this is the way forward we are looking at. We are now in the process of, encompassing all these areas, finalizing our defense production and export promotion policy 2020, which will focus on building domestic defense manufacturing capabilities, promote export of defense equipment and weapons and platforms. As you said in the beginning of your speech, that we are focusing on target 2025. We want to have production of almost $25 billion, export of $5 billion. It's a huge target. In 5 years, doubling our production capability, not an easy task. But I am confident the stage at which today we are, the way we are getting cooperation from our industries, from our DPSUs, and the support from the government, it's possible to achieve this target. Export will be one of the very important area of our focus. $5 billion. Today we export around $1.5 billion. And I should tell you that out of $1.5 billion, 80% of their export comes from private industries, and 20% comes from DPSUs. So we are giving very stiff target to our DPSUs, and we are, creating a kind of ecosystem in which our Indian embassies abroad in friendly foreign countries and the defense attaches, who are there in most of these friendly foreign countries, they work with our industry, and we are trying to meet the need of our friendly foreign countries from our domestic industrial. So with all these initiatives, I am sure the target which Honorable Prime Minister has given to Ministry of Defense and to country as such, we are confident to achieve those.
First of all, I would like to bring a little deeper understanding of what the government is aiming at Atmanirbharta Bharat. You remember that in the year 2014, the Prime Minister initiated Make in India initiative. So at the time, for industries like Bell in manufacturing sector, the goal was the manufacturing sector must contribute 25% of the GDP. So defense was also included under the manufacturing category. Now, at the time, the country positioned itself well embedded in the global economy system. So today, all countries are within the global economy and they are interdependent. So we were not seeing India as a separate, and we have got supply chain relationship. And the main thrust at the time was to ensure that the end product is assembled, manufactured in India with a good global supply chain partnership. So even the foreign investments encouraged those days, direct in defense up to 49%, was mainly to see that they utilize the manufacturing capacity in the country and build the final product type of. But the 2020 transformed lives of everyone on this planet. The COVID-19 has touched the way in which we are living in this planet. Today, under COVID-19, the biggest thing happened is all the countries got affected and the entire supply chain is disrupted. So in Make in India initiative, for example, healthcare was there as a wellness, and the pharmaceutical industry was there for manufacturing the drugs and concentrating on export. But the focus was missing on the ingredients required for bulk drug manufacturing or supply of bulk drugs and medical equipment. So the COVID brought and showed us a vacuum in the country, in the healthcare sector, for example. So when we started having the opportunity to manufacture 30,000 ventilators, here I must thank Secretary DP, Sri Rajkumar ji. During COVID period, he called us up and told that we must take this initiative and we must jump in and do it. And it was challenging for us, but today it is utmost satisfying for all of us in Bharat Electronics. So we found that the supply chain, logistics, there was so much of disruption that you can't face the pandemic with without getting these critical spare parts. So you need to have, we should have started R&D in these sectors probably a couple of years back or decades back. So that showed the vacuum in the country. So today the Prime Minister gave call for Atmanirbhar Bharat. A special package has been released so that we upgrade all our infrastructure towards that, utilize our buying power. The largest market is available in India. Utilize that buying power to ensure that we have self-reliant in India in all the spheres. So defense is not excluded in that, and in fact defense is one of the prime focus. So even after we are shortly going to celebrate 75th year of independence, and even at this stage we still have foreign dependency on our defense needs. About 65% of our needs are met through imports only. So now this is becoming a catch-22 situation. You have legacy equipment from legacy partners, and you need to continuously upgrade them or continuously get the supplies of them, and we are in that trap. So for the first time from Make in India, much bigger goal is set by the government, and under the leadership of Secretary DP Sri Rajkumar ji, today the defense industry in India is going through a transformational change. The goal set in front of is much bigger, much larger, and much visionary. The enablers are provided to us in terms of changing the policy statements, procedures. So today, with such helping hand from the government, in fact, industry has to rise up, and it is a big opportunity available in the industry. So in terms of non-availability of technology, today we can partner with any foreign company, form a joint venture where the foreigner can very easily come with a 74% investment in that. And if required, government is considering on critical technology even more than that, even up to 100%. So first, the barriers of bringing in technology are not going to be there today. The second is the negative import list is a real game changer today. The industry has got confidence that you make a product meeting the defense standards, meeting the defense services requirement, you are assured of procurement of that product, because the government is going to add it in the negative import list, and the user is has to commit procurement from us. So this is going to transform the way in which the private industry is also investing in defense. All these years, private industry was probably trying to invest only when an opportunity is given to them. But today, you have to generate opportunity for yourself. You bring a product, as Sir has explained, that indigenous content in the Buy Indian category also has been drastically increased. So if the industry comes up with a indigenous design developed product, the future of the industry is secure, because the government, the moment it is accepted, it is going to be put under negative import list. Third is, this is transformational policy change in bringing up the strategic partnership model, because there are positive strengths in some industries, and we need to leverage those positive strengths, be it public sector or be it private sector. Instead of competing, it is the time where we need to collaborate. So I am very happy when you have called Mr. Satyanarayana Nuwal for this program, because we both are collaborating in manufacturing electronic fuses to Indian Army. A large number of fuses in the last 2 years we have manufactured, and I must thank the support Solar Industries have extended to us. We only make electronics, and they make us the entire explosive part of it. And in fact, the entire product is finally assembled in their facility, stored in their facility, and dispatched from their facility. This sort of collaboration is required. Our strength in electronics and mass manufacturing of electronics, combined with their strength in handling any explosive material with the safety standards and required processes, if we combine this, that's what is going to result in a good product and an exportable product. So that's what the country must look forward now. The target set in front of us for next 5 years, $5 billion of export is most welcoming challenge for us. And we collaborate in the Indian industry. I can tell you, we can do wonders.
Solar, making India self-reliant in ammunition.
I finally want to bring in Mr. Satyanarayana Nuwal, who's been listening very patiently to all that we've been speaking over the last few minutes. And I want him to give us a perspective of a private sector player, how he views the government of India's new policy in the light of his long years, waiting for orders, what it is like to be a private sector player with very key capabilities, and what it is like now in the light of the changed realities. Over to you, Mr. Nuwal.
We are in the basically in the explosive, which is utilized for this mining infrastructure, coal or non-coal. So we decided, I started my career in very this thing, but somehow first I started industries in 95, this small scale industries, but somehow within 10 to 12 years, we could reach on the largest manufacturer and largest exporter in the country. So I decided, because so many things, just I will take you 2 minutes. So as a small company of us, we decided if you want to, particular on the ammunition sector, wants to break the system, you have to invest whatever required. So we invest in the defense sector. We have put up the very modern facility. First of all, we set up the high energy material, which was totally imported in the country. Our country was totally dependent on this particular HMX compound like this, PBX, so many warhead required for whatever this rockets, missiles, air bombs, mining. So we have set up the plant, and I am very happy to tell you we have set up a world largest plant in the country without taking any technology. But definitely we have scientists who are working in this Bofors in Sweden. So they resigned from there, they joined to us. And by this thing, we could set up here the largest plant of the world. And now we are exporting these products to many countries like OEM of US, Europe, Israel, Ukraine, and many countries we are exporting. And for next 2 years, we are fully booked with this particular high energy material. Recently, as regard this R&D, Rajkumarji said that so we are working in the very good R&D. I tell you, sir, recently, I think you may be aware, we have set up a life assessment engineering. This is the first time in the country, but as I heard by DGP, this is the first time in the Asia. So by this system, this is the real life assessment engineering. But without any assurance, without any this thing, you made a huge facility, because ISET facility is not actually this is the life assessment. It is the validation of the product, but it is the real life assessment, and that ISET is take about just like 22 months. By this IMC technology, isothermal microtechnology, by this system we can complete within 4 or 5 months. And I tell you, sir, particular by this system, this we can get the each and every the temperature. What are the temperature? There's the 15, 30, 40, 60 temperature. Particular the different humidation. We get the life of the particular ammunition, and in the long term, it will be very beneficial to at the time of designing the ammunition. Because it is in other countries, this is not a new system which is we developed. Sir, it is an established system in NATO countries about 18 to 20 years back, but we don't have this system. So I decided in countries this system should be there. Because so many this foreigners, some from this US and Sweden, particular from the Sweden, they work for this Bofors and Urenco. they resign and they join to us. So when I was discussing and he told me that in your country there is no system, so I decided, Menaka, there is no problem. We are ready to invest and we set up. And now, Sir DGPay is also already now last week they approved, they authorized us. So by last, because we have MOU in this DEF Expo with Raksha Mantri ji and Secretary Defense that time, but you know whatever system, it took the long time, but finally last week after this trial validation with DGPA, many things, and finally before 2 weeks or last week they have authorized to us to for this life assessment system.
It's possibly one of the first times that the government has so actively taken up the issue of defense exports, and you've set clear targets of $5 billion over the next 5 years, with very ambitious targets. What is the Defense Production Department of Defense Production doing to push Indian exports into the rest of the world? If you could give us an overview of that, sir.
The issue of export that you refer to, I should tell you now, we have identified a list of some 40, 50 potential countries, will need our export defense products by way of exports from here. We have very vibrant industry associations. One is SIDM, Society of Indian Defense Manufacturers, under the umbrella of CAI, and then we have FICCI. So these two industrial associations are very proactive. So you would be happy to know that we have put them in the front. They are now organizing webinars with the industry of foreign-friendly countries, with the military leadership of foreign-friendly countries in association with our embassies. So the role for promoting export opportunities in defense sector, we have assigned it to the industry bodies. That is what in short I can tell you. And I don't know whether I should thank COVID-19 for giving this excellent opportunity of, now mentally we are all tuned to interact across the board on this virtual media. So very successfully, our industry is interacting with the industry in friendly foreign countries, with the government and the military leadership. And our embassies, Indian embassies, are playing a fantastic role in organizing, such kind of discussion meetings. And I'm sure this is how we hope to capture opportunities in the export market in the defense field. Line of credit, by our Ministry of External Affairs, that you must be aware, So we are also using defense line of credit as an opportunity to promote our exports. We have this Defense Expo, Aero India. These two are our signature events, Ministry of Defense signature events. Annually, biannual events are there. So alternatively, either we do F Expo or we do F. Now we invite all these countries, those where we see export opportunities, where we see opportunities for collaboration. That is what Mr. Gautama and Nuvalji also referred. So we want the leadership of those countries, the industry of those countries to come and visit these two events and look at what our industry is capable of, what products that our industry is manufacturing, and we can provide them to meet their requirement. Then we are also identifying major equipments, platforms, weapons. See, so far we have been focusing upon the smaller things, sub-assemblies, assemblies, components. But unless we go in for major defense, for example, I can tell you about Bharat Electronics. They have a wonderful product which is called Coastal Surveillance System. Now, in the Indian Ocean region, there are a number of countries, which need that kind of support from us for their own security. And very successfully, they have provided one such product to Maldives, for instance. So we are looking at product-based opportunities, and the moment you bring in a product, then we have long-term relationship with that country. And this is what we are focusing upon.
I actually want to bring in Mr. Gautama here on this goal that you've set of defense exports, $5 billion. And you mentioned earlier on that your approach was to look at creating an ecosystem. Mr. Rajkumar says that it's also for product-based, to create products that you can export. How do you see BEL, harmonizing these in terms of leveraging our expertise in defense electronics? The coastal radar system that we've exported to many countries is an example. How do you see BEL, using these to enter into defense markets of countries around the world?
Today, we are being facilitated by our defense attaches and ambassadors from various countries, where we were not knowing that there is a lead existing. So first and foremost, today there is a tremendous change. In fact, all Indian defense companies are receiving leads from the government, with the support of the government. From BEL side, what we did, in order to give more confidence to those countries, we started opening our marketing offices in their countries. So today, thanks to the government approval, DDP approval, we have already commenced operations of our marketing centers in 6 countries. We had opened it in Vietnam, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Oman, Singapore, and USA. And we are now shortly going to open up in Abuja, Nigeria. Now, these our local presence there is transforming the mindset, which otherwise most of the countries do not have a stated published defense acquisition policy like India, where you have got a fair opportunity for competition. Whereas those countries, the policies are decided by the running government, and it is different. So our physical presence today is transforming. Recently, in one of our neighboring country, we were able to compete in a global competition and beat China in acquiring order for 4 numbers of surveillance radars and sonars. So I can tell you that as Sir Rajkumar Sir has put, 5 billion looks bigger target today, but in a couple of years we can see that it is more than achievable, and we will be able to cross it also. So we are bringing a transformational change in the mindset of those countries, that India is strongly today poised for defense export, and India is going to be a defense supply chain partner for those countries. And here we need to have, once we are trying to export something, we have a lot of export restrictions coming in by way of ITAR and such type of laws. And hence, the ecosystem is most important for us to create in the country first, to become a strong, reliable export partner. So that's where the platform like IDEX, BEL has got our own internal investment in R&D, apart from DRDO. We spend about 10% of our revenues back into R&D. Today we have collaborative R&D partners, nearly 250 collaborative partners. We have about 125 projects with a budget outlay of 100 crores running at this point of time. And all these are oriented towards building a ecosystem, which otherwise we were dependent on foreign imports. And those people can put a restriction for us that end use is in so-and-so country, then you are not allowed to export. So we have to come out of those restrictions to establish ourselves very strongly as a defense export hub for the neighboring countries. Yes, we have, as Sir has told, our coastal surveillance system is well proven. Thanks to Indian Coast Guard, we have matured it enough, and today we are able to get in orders from neighboring Indian Ocean region countries in a very big way for that.
Thank you, Mr. Gautama. And I want to address my next question to Mr. Nuwal. Nuwal ji, ये आपको एक डिफेंस एंटरप्रेन्योर के तौर पे आप हमें बता सकते हैं ये कौन से गुणों की जरूरत पड़ती है एक डिफेंस एंटरप्रेन्योर को इंडियन डिफेंस इकोसिस्टम में, अगर आपको तरक्की करनी हो तो आपकी क्या राय है इस बारे में?
Sir, we started this industries last 10 years back, and last up to 8 years we are losing every year 40 to 45 crore cash loss. So ये मेरा बोलने का उसके पीछे ये था कि it's required, particular for the defense, is required the patience and perseverance. जब तक ये मतलब whatever government policies make, but trial, validation, these things, it is matlab not like other products. So जब तक किसी एंटरप्रेन्योर में वो पेशेंस या पेशेंट नहीं है, then it will be very difficult. 5 बिलियन का जो गवर्नमेंट का है, डेफिनेटली नो डाउट, एंड इट इज वेरी मतलब दैट प्राउड फॉर अस, बट मेरी एक हम्बल सजेशन ये है कि जो भी व्हाटएवर सर आपने जो ये डीएपी या डीपीएम है, तो वो टाइमलाइन जो है यदि वो कम से कम ठीक से उस पे हो जाए, क्योंकि सर आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस particular for the so many product, but which we take the only the Pinaka, this RFP was the 2 or 3 years back. Again it is become मतलब scrap हो गई. Now it is already DAC is clear, but after the even clear by the DOC, it's take the years and years. So ये इसमें किसी का फायदा नहीं है. जो भी सिस्टम है उसमें I do not want to blame the this system, but procedures ऐसे हों कि जिसमें without compromise of the quality, without compromise of the cost, without compromise of the commitment, but within time it should be complete. मुझे लगता है कि ये जो पॉलिसीज, नो डाउट इतनी अच्छी पॉलिसीज इसके पहले बहुत अच्छी, सबसे अच्छी पॉलिसी बनी है. पहले भी कुछ अच्छी पॉलिसीज थी, बट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इसको कैसे मॉनिटरिंग हो सकता है, ये देश के हित में ये करना चाहिए. मेरी बस एक रिक्वेस्ट है, क्योंकि हर आदमी हमारी तरह 10 साल तक वेट करके हर साल 40-50 करोड़ रुपया केस लॉस करके और वो इंडस्ट्रीज नहीं लगा सकता. तो हमने लेकिन कोशिश की कि इस एम्यूनेशन जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में it was not imagined in any company, even government is not think कि भाई complete एम्यूनेशन प्राइवेट सेक्टर में आ सकता है. बट वी डिसाइडेड कि भाई क्योंकि हमारे पास कुछ नहीं था और भगवान ने जब हमको इतना दिया तो हमने कहा कि चैरिटी करने के बजाय जो भी हमने है, उस समय सर हमने 600 करोड़ रुपया डाला. पूरी फैसिलिटी वी हैव सेट अप द फैसिलिटी इन 2000 एकड़. सो उतनी फैसिलिटी और सब कुछ करने के बाद में इट टुक द 10 ईयर. अभी भी कोई ऑर्डर नहीं मिला है. अब जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन हुआ है, मुझे लगता है वो दिसंबर या जनवरी से शुरू हो जाएगा. तो हर चीज पॉसिबल है, लेकिन इसमें जो भी एक पेशेंस जब तक नहीं हो, पेशेंस नहीं हो, तो इसमें ये रखना पड़ेगा और ये उनको बताना पड़ेगा कि ये ऐसा नहीं है. लेकिन अभी गवर्नमेंट का यदि सपोर्ट, जो पॉलिसी है सपोर्ट है, और ये टाइमलाइन यदि ठीक से मीट हो जाए, तो मुझे लगता है कि इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं कि हमारा जो भी टारगेट इसको हम अचीव कर सकते हैं.
धन्यवाद नवाल जी, आपने बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि पेशेंस, परसिवियरेंस और पैशन की जरूरत है इस डिफेंस फील्ड में. और उम्मीद है कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की जो नई PI है पॉलिसी, उससे ये सारी चीजें सॉल्व हो सकती हैं और देश आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ बढ़ सकती है. और on this note, I want to thank all our speakers for sparing your valuable time. You're all very, very busy individuals, and thank you very much for coming here and speaking. We now have a special message from Mr. Ajay Harinath Singh, Chairman and Managing Director, Darwin Platform Group of Companies.
Atmanirbhar Bharat. Salute to the Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, and all the agencies of India. It's an honor to be a part of the nation which is developing their own helicopters and fighter jets like Tejas and tanks within the country. The government of India is right now doing a planning of Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is substantial, known to be one of the best movement done by any other Prime Minister until then. Shri Narendra Modi ji has done fantastically good. Our organization, Darwin Platform Electronics INC, is doing too good in the same division of defense. We have been parting hand in hand and making manufacturing things in India, within India. Borders divide, But unanimously, people should understand that borders are also created by us. Defense is the backbone of the government, and government stand on defense. So if our defense system is powerful, robust, we are safe. Darwin Platform Avionics INC is in hand in glove with the Government of India, Ministry of Defense, under controlled by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji. We will be manufacturing every single thing in India. All technologies will be done in India. Every single thing will be with the permissions of DRDO Chief G. Satish ji, and every single thing will be licensed. I'm very happy to say that the Darwin Platform Avionics INC will not only give its best deliverables to the Indian government, but also to the international market on a legal platform wherever the Indian government gives us permission to do it. Proud to be a Darwinite. The movement of defense headed by Shri Rajnath Singh, our top leader Shri Narendra Modi ji, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, DRDO Chief G. Satish ji, and CDS Chief Sir Bipin Rawat, is actually one of the finest movement ever done by any other country till date. What I see that India will develop every single equipment of defense within the premises and the borders of India in the coming decade. People think that India is actually developing. No, it's developed. You should understand that Atmanirbhar Bharat is making India more powerful than your imagination. We, with the people of India, within the country, by the country and for the country, will do anything to make this mission successful, which has been implemented by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi.